It's the cafeteria. No, really? I thought it was a fucking bedroom. Special diets. That's probably incredibly offensive, I'm sorry.
Yeah, probably, but...
I swear I'm a nice person, my mum says so. Oh, I said that before. Damn it.
Stop making me laugh. You're gonna kill me with this bloody cough I've got.
Hurry up and get better then.
I'm trying to get better. It doesn't just magically happen.
My solution is not to get sick in the first place. Like, although last year I got sick for the first time in what felt like at least a few years. And I still, showed up to lectures and stuff, despite the fact I had headaches and a fever so bad, like I had to have my head on my lap. It was hurting so much. In hindsight, maybe I should have just not shown up.
Maybe taking a sickie was a good option that day.
Yes.
But, and now Hisal's being signed at and has no idea what's going on.
Yes, this though is the first point of a very, very interesting theme. Or I'm bringing up my inner English student here as well, but the discussion of the Misha-ization of the translations is interesting. I think we ended up asking about Shizune's deafness, despite it not being the ideal way to go about things.
Yeah.
But we're doing this for continuity's sake, so ask about her deafness.
Yeah. Though we know exactly what line that one triggers.
But then Hisao fucking pussies out.
Or, actually uses his brain regarding such a situation.
Yes, unlike one certain other situation.
Yeah, that
still
situation.
traumatizes me to this fucking day.
Yeah, go play the game and you'll figure out which line that's on.
Suffice it to say, no one talks about that situation in the forums.
And
No one
when they
wants to
do,
talk
it's usually,
about
I got that ending. And everyone just kind of ignores that comment.
Or everyone's like, "Oh, got it, bro. You done fucked up now."
Yep. So the only other time that anyone gets told they're gone done fucked up is when you get asked to come to the roof by a certain character.
No, don't say that. Let them find out for themselves that they fucked up. Don't spoil
I think
it.
about 5 of them say that.
Actually, that's a valid point.
It's a very common question.
It's just one certain character that asks it. Yeah. Hopefully you can't work it out, and I haven't just ruined it for you.
Well, it's that.
Or we just haven't ruined it for you. You started it.
Yeah, I should probably put a bunch of beeps in there and spoiler warnings. I should probably just put a spoiler warning at the beginning of this and be like, yeah, they're gonna be spoilers.
Yeah, it really doesn't help that we went and fucked up. You went and fucked up with the audio, but hi!
Yay!
It's I don't know. She might be my favorite character, but her line isn't my favorite line.
And then, Misha's it.
Yep. It's very interesting, though, the difference in how you're led to perceive Misha, depending on which lines you choose.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything further. I might end up spoiling it.
It's actually quite interesting how the characters are all built differently depending on the lines, and how little or how relevant they are depending on them.
It's also interesting to see how differently Hisao turns out as a character during the different lines as well. Shouldn't be this tired. You've spent 4.5 months in hospital, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, and your grand total time spent exercising was walking to the storage room with books and back, which was described as being about 5 minutes worth of walking at a patient pace. As we're led to kind of guess about the situation.
But yes, now we're going to be ditched by Misha and Shizune. I've never quite got how I'm supposed to enunciate a sentence with the tilde at the end of it.
Well, hopefully we get someone with a lot more who's a lot more learned in the area of English that watches this and gets this far.
Well, my mum's an English teacher, but I mean, adding the tilde to the end of the sentence to indicate a form of enunciation is by no means an official English, construct. It's just something that's come up with the internet somehow.
Though I haven't really seen it used outside of this game, to be honest.
Oh no, I've got a few friends on Facebook and stuff who use it a little bit. But yes, for a labour of love that's completely free, this is very well written.
Oh, it's pretty damn good.
Overall.
It's actually one of the better games, well, at least out of what I've played in recent times. Yeah.
And given how much it, surprised me with, I came into this game not taking it seriously at all. But given how well it drew me in, this is quite possibly one of my favourite games of all time, despite being completely different to any type of other thing that I'm interested in.
Well, that's the thing is that it's a actually decently written game with a decent story.
I'd say it's a good story, better than decent.
Well, it's a good story. And I don't know, it's just a nice change from a lot of the other games which are considered highly popular these days. Hey!
This guy's also a bro, but we don't get to see much of him in this line either. Play the game for yourself.
Yeah.
The most common first playthrough character introduces you more to this guy.
Yep. Unless you're like us and our accidental first choice character
ended up fucking destroying me emotionally. Seriously, I hadn't felt that sad since my cat died. But man.
And I like how you never actually know his name. He's just the nurse.
So you're that fucking cunt. Oh, whoops. To our Americans in the audience, or foreign people, in New Zealand the C word really isn't considered as much of a swear as it is considered overseas.
Yeah, it's offensive slang, but not to the extent it is in some other countries.
Yeah, so, in the same way that you might call your friend a piece of shit, just jokingly, here in New Zealand you can call your friend a cunt.
Yeah.
But yes, please don't be offended.
You want to add the right sort of tone to it to make sure you don't actually insult them.
Can't, mate.
Pretty much.
Dave. That was referencing New Zealand drink driving ad. Our government seems pretty good at creating road safety advertisements.
Our road safety advertisements are either actually really dramatic or just really dumb.
Dumb and funny.
All these ghost chips.
Yeah, I can't eat your ghost chips.
Ghost chips.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, just
There will
search
be
ghost
a little
chips
link
and
in
it
the
should come
corner
up.
to the ghost chips ad.
Hopefully you remember to do this whilst editing.
Oh no, I will, because I'm gonna have to sit here and listen to all of this again. I'll be like, that's right.
Yeah. Maybe you should add the you know, that ad where the time stops as the other end of the scale for NZ road safety ads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Add that
Yeah, I know
here.
the one you're talking about.
Add that here to just show the other end of the scale.
Well, for those who are listening, you can probably see the rather painfully obvious YouTube boxes with links in them on the corner of the screen somewhere.
Yeah. So what's the nurse saying again? I wasn't paying attention. Oh, that's right. Hasal's going, it's weird
he's
having
like,
so
this
much...
is a hospital, not a school.
Pretty much.
And he's just like, nah, we're not a hospital, we don't do brain surgery. Like, that's the sort of defining point between a school and a hospital.
That's clearly it. I have to wonder though, how far the school would be able to take a student who injured themselves, and whether they'd be able to resuscitate them or.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that given the nature of many of the students,
they probably have a decently equipped resus room.
They probably have a pretty decently equipped small hospital.
Yeah.
Though, like they did say at the beginning of the
probably
game,
the sort of enough of a facility to stabilize a patient from a wide range of circumstances before transferring to an actual hospital if it gets that serious.
As one of the selling points of the school is there's a good hospital down the road.
Yeah. Although at least so far, we've not actually come across that hospital. Probably a good thing. Although I don't know.
No, we wind up in another hospital.
Hey, don't say anything. It's spoilers. Spoilers.
Yep.
Hopefully James either cut or bleep that out.
Oh, yeah, I will. I'll patch up some of our slips of the tongue.
Slips of the spoilery tongue. Just go play the game for yourself, damn it. But yes, sports. Yes, I play sports. One of my favourite sports is the sport of rugby union, which is entirely unrelated for our American viewers, entirely unrelated to rugby league, which is where Jared Payne came from. Rugby union is infinitely better than league, and I'm totally unbiased. But yes, if I were in Hasal's position, I'd probably have to be very careful about what I said in that regard, given that rugby union is a full contact sport.
Yeah.
And any kind of concussion might be dangerous for your heart. He just says that.
Wow.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
That's not spoilers. You'll come across this in the playthrough soon enough.
Yeah.
But yes, concussions, although not entirely what the nurse was talking about, I can say from personal experience, really not a fun experience.
Oh, concussions are fine. They're not that bad unless they happen a lot.
Well, then again, I've probably had at least 5 or 6 concussions in my lifetime. So,
You'll survive. I don't know how many I've had. I know I've had a number of them, and I know that number at one point got high enough where they were like, if this happens again, we're going to have to take you to an actual hospital.
Yeah, well, my worst concussion, I don't remember the incident, but I remember I was skiing at the time, and I remember waking up in the snow, downhill from a jump with blood on the inside of my goggles and no clue who I was, where I was, or why I was bleeding.
Sounds
Not a fun
like
experience.
an A-grade accident. Did anyone get a picture?
Or my dad actually got a few pictures of me being taken down the hill behind a ski patroller in the sled.
But did the accident have a picture taken of it?
No, unfortunately not. Or fortunately, depending on... Yeah, I'm not squeamish. I could probably watch myself have a massive accident. But, a few months after that, I had a second concussion.
One of us.
What? Oh, one of
us.
Damn it.
One of us.
Yeah, a couple months after that, I had a second concussion at some hot pools where the blood drained out of my head, and I just keeled over, and my head hit concrete from me fully standing up, which is about 1.8 meters or 6 foot, whatever.
1.8. No, 1.8 is just shy 6.
Oh no,
It's
I'm
like
1.86. That's about 6'1". I'm 1.86 technically speaking. That's 6'1". I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was just shy 6, like the 5'11 mark or 5'12 mark.
I know for a fact I'm over 6 foot. I'm not a manlet, I swear.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, I had my second concussion, and then for the next 6 months or so, I had a permanent headache.
You know how you know the importance of this one.
The importance of that wall in the background is very important in a certain line.
It's actually,
and I do believe we pointed out later on. We point something out about it during the course of our playthrough.
yes.
Room 119er.
If
If
is
what?
that the American emergency line?
911 is America's emergency line.
Okay.
Or if you have the date in the correct order, how you would say 9/11. 11/9. Only works in America because you guys have the date the wrong way around. To be clear, or for clarification, here in New Zealand at least, we go day, month, year when writing the date out. Not so 9/11 doesn't have the quite the same symbolic effect.
Yeah.
Terrible tragedy that it was. I don't want to say anything because I'm afraid I might say something offensive and scare our one viewer off.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea to go into that particular topic.
Yes, but
this,
on an unrelated subject, we are about to meet
that character.
That character, our least favourite character. May as well come out and say it.
It's Harry Potter.
Not quite. It's fucking Kenji. The worst character in the game. No, I don't know if he's the worst character, but he's my least favourite character personally. Mainly because we don't
even have to explain it. I'm pretty sure they're about to realise it.
Yeah. But yeah, I was about to say though, given that this game is from a product of 4chan, very much so, this guy is B incarnate, the random board incarnate. Maybe a smattering of R9K, although when this game was first released, R9K was nowhere near the level of, I don't know, I guess I'll come out and say it, autism that it is nowadays. There's really no other way to describe it. It's not offensive if I'm being honest, sure. I swear. Autism and spaghetti. If any of our viewers are from R9K, feel free to yell at me and call me a fucking normie.
Who cares about them?
Yeah, I don't stray too far from my home boards of SP and O, which are the sports and automotive boards respectively. But yes, if you've been paying any attention to the dialogue, which we have been making a point not to, hopefully you'll have found out how
well, he hasn't gone full
Kenji
yet.
is.
He's kind of just acted a bit weird.
Yeah, I suppose he hasn't gone full Kenji just yet.
Yeah.
Fun fact, though, the music loop that played in the background of his scenes is called Out of the Loop. Very much a description of Kenji's character.
Though most of the characters generally have a aptly named track to go with them.
Yeah, that's probably true. But yes, our parents have ditched us and left us a note. Or Hisao's parents, anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty much, for those wondering, unless you pick a very particular line in this game, that's it from your parents.
Or at least so far in the line we're doing.
Well,
we haven't.
Yeah.
But it's looking unlikely
Yeah.
in any case.
Well, given that the parents have only shown up in one other line that we've actually completed,
It's not looking likely that they'll show up ever again.
and even then, we know why the reasons they show up in that other line.
Yes, it's kind of obvious. I won't say anything more though. Funnily enough, so far that line has been my favourite out of all the ones that I've completed, but Shizune's line from, what I've done, I've actually thoroughly enjoyed as well, so I don't know.
It's been an absolutely lovely line, actually. It hasn't thrown any huge curveballs, and it's generally been quite a pleasant experience.
It hasn't thrown any huge curveballs yet.
Well,
Yet.
Yet, definitely. But, it didn't put us down some weird sort of self-reflective way, or embrace running, or...
No, don't say that, you'll just spoil it.
So this
line we embrace
this
running
actually
is
very sums up his current attitude, this one.
2 tablets daily to stay alive. Not quite.
Though it does sum up his attitude towards the place right now.
Yeah. And he's not wrong. We find that out in a couple of lines, actually.
I think every line has a moment like that.
So I suppose it's not really spoilers to say that.
What was that?
I suppose it's not really that spoilery to say that.
No. Surprising enough, given it's already been explained. Here's this huge list of pills. If you don't take them, you're probably going to have a heart attack.
But I'm looking forward to getting up to the point just before where you said we called it quits. Because the character we meet just prior is quite possibly my favorite.
Oh, it's definitely.
Definitely silence.
How many... Is it stated how many bottles he has at this point?
It's implied that it's a fair few.
Yeah, it definitely is implied that he has a couple, but it does get to a fair whack in some of the lines.
Sorry, I'm suddenly going quiet.
Yes, I've gone back to actually reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Have a bit of noise in the background at my end. Hopefully it's not too intrusive.
I wasn't actually reading. I was distracted by a message I got. Sorry, viewers. This is a totally professional playthrough.
Oh yeah, we're total professionals, guys. We're professional to no end.
money.
Though, hey, it's Shizune. I really like that face.
Yeah, that's right. Shizune, something that I will frequently point out over the course of this playthrough is how adorable I think Shizune looks when she's pissed off. And what Misha's doing is also pretty adorable as well. This face here is my favorite face of Shizune's. This face right here. You have a different favorite. I wonder if do we get to see it? Do we have our game of Risk in this part, or is that in the next part?
What was that?
Do we get to see your favorite face of Shizune's in this part or the next part? Because I think the first instance is the game of Risk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it might be during this recording session. I don't know.
My favorite face is coming up. And
The festival.
here
What's it
comes-
about? No, it's never actually really explained.
No,
in
it's
any of
not.
the
It's
lines.
just it's a thing. So
Yeah,
you're
something
helping
to,
us.
Something to occupy the students. Uh, I just love the fact that Misha flat out says, "Who cares?"
Yep.
Despite the fact Shizune gave an elaborate and long-winded explanation.
Yeah. No doubt there was actually a rather wordy and lengthy explanation behind all that. But who
But Misha
cares?
just Misha-ized it.
Yeah, she does it a lot.
Hmm. We're in the middle of class and we should start working. No, really?
Yay! There it is. There it is.
Yeah, there's Shizune. There's your face.
Yep, that's your best face.
That's my second favorite behind her pissed off face, I have to say.
That's my favorite.
Shizune, I'm finding though, has a lot more adorable, cute moments like that than many of the other characters.
Though she's got a lot more facial expressions than most of the other characters.
Yeah, and I suppose a big part of that is the fact that they can't express her mood through dialogue, so they have to go with her face.
Yeah.
Or at
Well, I
least
think it would be a
actually
bit
they
hard.
can't express her mood through dialogue yet.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hints
Yeah.
at future developments there.
Ooh.
Probably spoilery, but honestly, if you're watching us play the game instead of playing it yourself, you probably don't care that much about spoilers.
Yeah. And the spoiler alert at the beginning of this video probably should have let you know that by now.
But yes, we noticed that a certain character ran off. I won't say anything more until we meet her.